Hello and welcome to Maxim Foods Inside Track. Beautiful day here in Brisbane. We're well into spring here. The jacaranda's in full bloom and getting some plus 30 degree days already. So yeah, great time to be in Brisbane, hitting the waterways and having fun. The market itself is also heating up. I'll give you that segue there for free, but let's have a look at it and see what's happening. Let's have a look at whole milk powder. We saw a plus 4% result on the GDT last night. So we've seen that correction from 2 months ago of around 20% uplift. So it looks as though we have found the bottom there. In terms of a short to medium term outlook, demand composition of around the world doesn't seem too out of the ordinary. North Asia still down, and the other markets picking up the slack. So we see a reasonably stable outlook, but it is good news that US dollar price has popped back over 3,000 US, which is around a 5-year average. Moving across to skim milk powder, so we saw a positive result again last night in GDT, following a similar pattern to whole milk powder, plus 4%, and seeing that correction that we've or bottom of the market that we saw in September. So things moving along reasonably bullish or reasonably firm for skim, and hitting that sort of 5-year average pricing at the moment. Having a look at butterfat, so if you look across the regions, EU pricing remaining relatively stable, some really firm demand for butterfat domestically in the US, so pricing is very firm across over in the States. So we do see a fair bit of demand for New Zealand and Australian butterfat at the moment, hence seeing those results on the GDT last night. AMF in particular up around 8%, which was expected as there was a lot of volume taken off less volume offered on the GDT for AMF. Butterfat crept up around 3% as well. So yeah, a lot more bullish sentiment there for butterfat, and it looks as though that will keep up over the next short to medium term. Having a look at whey powder. Whey powder, we've seen not a lot of demand and a lot of action in sweet whey over the last couple of months. That has crept up a little bit with a bit more global demand helping pricing along. If we're looking over at the proteins, yeah, we've seen some real heat come into the market there on WPCs and WPIs. So that has been a tumultuous 12 months on proteins. We saw record highs only sort of 12 months ago, and then going down quite rapidly. It's now seen that correction, and we're seeing a lot more demand come in the market. So yeah, it continues its merry-go-round, but we should see pricing continue to firm in the short term. Finishing off with cheese, so if we do a wrap around the globe, in the EU, pricing reasonably stable, demand holding up there on the retail side of things. In the US, once again, reasonably balanced. Supply is good, so we have been seeing US cheese quite abundant on the export markets. If we look over to Australia and New Zealand, we've seen a bit of a lackluster period of demand in retail and food service, in particular in Australia on cheese, but that has started to improve and should do obviously coming into Christmas. So yeah, a bit more optimism in the cheese market, especially in Australia, and we should see some more demand coming in before Santa hits in December. Thanks very much for listening to today's Inside Track. Have a great fortnight, look after yourself, and we'll see you again soon.